Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. Webby's with us today. Bit of an overall chat on the summer, the transfer window, and how we see it going forward. But for now, Webby, how are you? You're looking well?
Yeah, 3 days at the cricket coming up now, so ask me that same question Sunday morning after 3 days with the lunatics. But looking forward to it. I love my cricket, as you know. The weather seems to be set fair. Great test matchups in now, great series, so looking forward to it. So yeah,
it's all right for some, life for luxury, but there you go. You know what I mean? Got to first start with Kieron and Bumo. 2 signings, Webby, 2 goal scorers. What's your opinion on them, lad?
people say the problem last year was conceding goals. It wasn't scoring goals. 44 was it in the league? Not good enough. Simple as. You know, these are see what I like me about signings. I like people who are proven in the Premiership, and both of these are. You know what I mean? Because when someone comes in from another league, it's all a bit a mystery for them. How they going to adapt? How they going to take to the Premiership? Some people can't handle it. Simple as that. But these 2 have been around. You know, it's what we need. But that's not the end of it. It can't stop there. There's another 3. I'd like virtually a new team, but it's not going to happen.
No.
We need another 2 or 3 at least to come in before the first game of the season. You know, I'd like them in before they went to America, like we used to do.
Yeah.
Go and get these players in at the end of the last season, get them done, get it started. Like Cunha, 2 days after the season finished, it's done.
Yeah.
Done, like we used to do, bully teams. But those days are gone now. We're not a bullying club anymore since Ferguson and Gill left, unfortunately. But happy with the start of the 2, but it's got to continue for another 2 or 3.
See, when you look at the 2 signings, Kieron, bomb, like you say, in straight away, no problem at all. How frustrating was that in Bumo, watching it day after day?
So it was like me and you, Sancho. That's what it was like out there. That's what it felt like. Felt like another Wesley Sneijder.
Yeah.
No, for months and months. You know, I just think it was obviously Brentford, fair play to them. They said, listen, we want this, and he's not going for less. Simple as that. You know, United's had to give in the end. Yeah. But, you know, listen, proven goal scorer, proven player. I'm happy with that. I just hope it hits the ground running for us, because that's what we need.
You know, you look at the 2 signings, Webby, and fans out there, you know, they do understand it's Premiership experience, what we need. We've lacked that. We've got the goals with these 2. But there's many people out there, Webby, I mean, they're just going absolutely mad. There's other priorities, and it doesn't seem as though like the money's there. And what do you see as a priority, Webby?
Well, you start the back goalkeeper, you know, that's no disrespect for Kit. He's just not good enough, Tony. You know, I'm not going to come on here or anywhere and slag him off. He's just not good enough. Simple as that. Do you know when I go into stadiums, Tony, and I see him there as our number 1, and the ball goes near our box, I crap myself.
Yeah.
I'm on edge. So I'm on edge from the toss of that coin, the ball kicking off, and that ball goes near our box. I'm a nervous wreck, so. And as a centre-half, you know, you look at the likes of Pallister and Bruce and Rio and Vidic when they had a top keeper behind them, makes them better players.
Yeah.
They're more confident. I bet these are on a right bag of nerves with Jeremy Beadle in net sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
So the goalkeeper, you know, and then you look at, you know, we spoke about it before, and when Højlund first came to the club, I thought we got a player there. He looked so good, especially in the Champions League. It's not worked for him. We need now, before that game against Arsenal, is a goalkeeper and a centre forward and a midfielder. I'm being greedy, but you got to start at the back of the goalkeeper. You know, you look at the kid at Villa. You know, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Well, he's been voted that. I'd check him now. You know, he's making noises. He wants to come to the club.
Yeah.
We all know what we need, so it's not rocket science, mate.
Well, you're right. It's not rocket science, Webby. But you look at the number 9 there, right? Højlund brought into the club. Suddenly then he's the main striker. He was never brought in for that. But when we talk about strikers, Premier League experience, that's what we want in Kieron and Bumo. Good footballers, no 2 ways about it. You've just mentioned Martinez from Villa there, Webby. Well, what about the number 9? What about the number 9? I mean, he's there. Watkins, yes, he's nearly 30 years of age, but he's going to score goals for the next couple of years. Yeah. Surely we can try and get a deal for that.
Do you know what? So I've just, basically, when I was on my way down here, they reckon the kid, you'll tell me his name, Kieron, it looks promising. Sesko. He's just been on the radio, Fabrizio, saying it's looking like it could happen. You know, when you do hear him things, I know he gets a few things wrong, but who doesn't? So even you get and me get things wrong.
Not often,
not often, but that's what he said. So listen, if he says it, you take a bit of a thing. But I take Watkins. I take him all day long. Like you're saying, It's proven Premiership, so
which is what we need now.
we need it now. It's no good in 2 years' time. We need it for the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
So it's down to the club now where they can structure the deal. You know, what? I take them fucking both. I take the pair of him.
What, Martinez and Watkins?
Yeah, take them both.
Yeah.
I take them both. I look at that Watkins there, and when I've seen him play, he's always been an handful, not just for Villa, for England as well. How much do you felt getting dropped for Rashford?
That was strange, Webby.
Yeah, very strange.
Very strange.
How he got dropped because, you know, I seen a video.
He got him to Europe. The goals he scored the year before, Webby,
he's walking in Rashford into the training ground. I bet he wanted to hit him with a sledgehammer because he pushed him out.
Yeah.
And he was talking, he got to Arsenal the previous summer for a lot of dough.
They came in with the bid in January.
Yeah.
Now, that in itself was strange. Yes,
Listen,
it was
so
a late
if he's
bid.
30, he's probably got a body of a 21-year-old. That means nothing to me now. You look at Giggsy playing until he's 40. If you look after yourself, you can play in this Premiership until whatever age. No, I'd take Watkins all day long. I'd take half the Villa team if we're truthful with you. You know what I mean? Because when that new manager come in, Emre, what was his second from the bottom? With Gerrard. He turned the club round.
Turned it round 100%.
He never got a chance at Arsenal. They bombed him. Yeah. And we knew what he could do, but no, definitely Watkins would have him all day long.
The comments on the videos we've been doing lately, right? And we talk about priorities and everything else like that. But let me tell you, Webby, I was shocked when we was talking about a number 9 and a goalkeeper and that. The amount of people, what was going on about a midfielder. We need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. Now, you and I, Kieron, we've all discussed how open we was last year, and it was poor. Right? That seems to be the priority. What's the problem there in the midfield? Is it the players? Is it the system? What Amarin does?
It's a good question, that's all. You've seen some of the games last year, we got away with victories, I was getting steamrolled through the middle. You know, and who do you play there? And obviously, is Mainu that man? Casemiro had probably not been playing his best football. You got to come in with all things blazing him, who's going to be the man. And it didn't work out. But like you say, so it takes people time, especially not from here. But in the Premiership and in football, 1 minute is a long time.
Yes.
3 or 4 games, it seems like a lifetime. Yeah. Listen, we'd all like a midfield player to do that role, to sit there. But 1, who is there? 2, the Bugs Bunny. That's a problem. You know, is anyone coming through? I liked him there, Collier. I thought he did okay.
Got injured, though.
Got injured.
And he was looking good.
I thought, you know, you look at that Fulham game and people go, well, he saved that one in line, but if you analyse his game, look at his game, it was superb.
Yeah.
Then he got injured.
Yeah.
You know, and then he didn't see him for 2 or 3 months. But listen, so we know, me and you know, and Kieron knows, there's nothing better than seeing a kid coming through the ranks who's been at the club since 8, 9, 10, 11, and he makes that step up like Rashford did, like McTominay did in his day. But
maybe with Collier, the pre-season, we might see him come back stronger and everything.
But then I looked at that Leeds game, so he played him wide on the right. And I'm thinking, well,
what's that about?
How many players have we got over there? You know, we need that position. We all know is that sitting player to knit everything together. Is he the kid? Is he the man? Listen, give him a chance, but don't play him wide right. But
does Bruno suit that midfield? I mean, I just don't see him as the midfielder. The best I see of Bruno, Webby, right, is further forward. Yeah. And it looks to me, especially when you look at that Leeds game, right, he's putting back in that midfield. Yeah. I don't like that. I think he just tries to do too much, and we need to sit there. And Bruno in there, it's not his best position. He doesn't provide as much as he should. That's my problem with Bruno. And you've got to think, is he going to stick with him? I don't like it, me, Webby, and a lot of people out there do not like it.
If you look at like Curie and Bruno, if that's the 3 behind the centre forward, that man who sat behind them has got to be spot on. Whether it's someone in the club, whether we buy some, he's got to be spot on because them 3 are just going that way.
Yeah,
and that's what we want.
Yeah.
So that man there has got to be spot on. Who it is, so.
I don't think anyone out there can see anyone at the club
who can do that role.
Who can do that role. So Amarin's got to sort that out in this pre-season. He always reminded us last year, Webby, that he never had time training with these players and that. He's got this pre-season starting in America, game on Saturday night against West Ham. right? There's no excuses anymore, surely, Webby.
No, he's had his own pre-season now. You know, he wasn't involved in that scenario in America, so he's had the time to gel everything together. And obviously, he's got the bomb squad out. What they're calling it, you know, one's gone.
There's five
There's
players.
one gone and there's 4 left.
What
now.
did you think of that when the club and Amarin announced the 5 are excluded?
You know what, so I was sat there yesterday at home, and I'll be truthful with you now. When I seen the Rashford things, I was a bit upset because surely there could have been a conversation made between Rashford and the manager. Listen, sort your head out, come back, hit the ground running. But obviously it's not happened. He doesn't want him involved, you know. We've seen Rashford, he's lived our dream. You know, he come on years ago in that Europa League, Midfield, whoever it was, scored the 2 on the weekend against the Arsenal. You know, and listen, if one person was going to break Rooney's record, staying fit, it was Rashford, to stay at this club all his life. It's not happened. He'll never play for us again. You know, then I've seen the likes of Barcelona. What's he going over there for? Carry the oranges? Because he's not getting that front free. You know, I'm just disappointed at the way it's ended, you know, and, you know, these stupid videos he's made. I want to kick the telly in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just think it's pathetic, you know. Then you've got that Garnacho liking comments and all that. Imagine that under Fergie.
Childish.
Been in the canal with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, if you look at the 5 what are left, he's the one we're going to get the dough for. It'll all go, we'll be able to spend it because he'll come through there. Who'll take him? His attitude stinks. You know, if he's going to do it at Manchester United Football Club, he's going to do it somewhere else. So
That's what people...
Pathetic, childish, wearing Villa shirts, commenting, slagging the manager off that he's not played. Listen, if you're good enough and you're doing it on the pitch, you can't be dropped. But he wasn't.
Yeah, all the reports about Garnacho is that he wants to stay in the Premier League and that. But I've said, Kieran said, like, Premier League managers and that, they can see how childish he's been doing social media posts and everything like that.
So he'll end up at one club.
One?
Chelsea.
You think so?
Yeah. They've got the dough. They want 120 wingers. Who else is going to pay the money? Can you see him going anywhere else? You can't see him going to the no disrespect to the likes of Forest.
Newcastle.
So... Yeah. I don't know, so I just think it's childish. You know, I look at that.
Do you think there could be a swap deal or something with a bit of money going for Jackson? Do you think that could happen late on in the transfer window, Garnacho, Chelsea? Yeah.
I'd rather have Michael Jackson.
Well,
you know
listen,
what I mean?
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm not a favour of it. I don't favour Jackson coming to United.
Listen,
you know, if there's a choice, to me, it's always been Watkins and a lot of people out there, right? But you just don't know. There is a possibility, surely, Webby.
Listen, there's a possibility of anything in football nowadays. So if, you know, it's what we need is a centre forward. But I look at his discipline the sending off at Newcastle, the sending off in that World Club Championship. You can't trust these players. You can't trust them. Obviously, Chelsea think, hang on a minute, we can't trust you in a big match going in for tackles like that. Use a bit of common sense. And he never. That tackle, what I seen in America, I didn't see any of that really, but I've seen it on in the clip. Terrible tackle. And you're letting your teammates down. Can we afford that? We can afford a player like that. If we're getting rid of one with an attitude, another one's coming in with an attitude, we might as well keep the little young clown.
Yeah. But going to Chelsea, Webby, how much do you think United would ask for Garnacho? I mean, me and Kieran have talked about 60 million and all that.
Dead right in today's market, yeah, but knowing United, they're probably selling for 2 and 8. You know what I mean? You know how many players we could sit here and make a video. How many players we've got rid of for peanuts, and they've gone to do greater things. You know, you look at the likes of Diego Forlan. We bought him for 7. I think we got rid of him for 2. 3 years later, was he the Golden Boot winner?
Scott McTominay, Webby.
Scott, so don't get me going. I'll be jumping out of that window.
No, that's still.
But the thing is, we've got to do. Do you know what it is? I look at. We've got to do right now for the club. We've got to act like a big club. Don't acting like a small mediocre club. Yeah, we'll have that player. Yeah, just give us a couple of mil for him. You know, let's give him by the balls like Chelsea. You know what proper teams do. Listen, you want him. Here's what you're paying. Like Brentford just done to us.
Yeah, but the exiled players who are training on their own, Webby, their value, soon as that was done, right, their value went right down. And a lot of people
each day the exiles. You know, imagine the panic of the club when the football starts and that window's ready to shut. We've got these until January. paying them big dough.
Yeah.
I look at Malacio. You know, he must have said something naughty to be exiled like that.
Yeah.
I look at Anthony. I don't think he's made any noises had to go to the club, really.
No.
Apart from Garnacho and Rashford have just been two silly little boys in my eyes.
Yeah.
No disrespect, we're United fans, we love United. Biggest club in the world, it always will be in our eyes.
And you look at Sancho.
Don't get me going on that clown.
Listen, all you hear is talk about him going here and there. I'm a little bit wary of like what's going on with him with the news out there, because it just seems to be dragging on and on and on. And it seems a very simple thing to do. Now, you talk about Anthony. Anthony, at the start of last season, turned around and says, I'm here, I want to fight, everything else like that. What you wanted to hear. So I can't criticise him, right, for that. And he got his head down. Now, he played good football there. But he played good football, Webby, and he's not been taken up. Do you think that might happen where he doesn't go anywhere?
Well, we want him off the books, but it looks like...
Get him off. Just get him off the books. Does it matter?
Anthony could go back there for another loan. That's what I'm hearing and I'm reading, you know. Just never works out for him here. But going back to Sancho, you know, we sat outside there years and years making praise. Is he coming? Is he not coming? You know, at that point when he come, he was probably one of the first names on the England team sheet, mind United.
At the time.
And listen, get on with playing football, son. It's not a big career. You're messing about with moves and I don't want to go here, I want that much money. Before you know it, your boots have gone. Listen, it's not worked out for him in here. I'm not going to slag him off. I just think he's been total down rude towards the club and the fans. Get rid.
You look at Ratcliffe here and Omar Barada and that. Have you got much confidence that they're going to be able to boost this club and do the right thing with all the things you've seen, Webby? And you also, I want to wrap it up like as well with Amarin as well. Have you got the confidence going forward that he can turn this club round?
Well, I like what he's doing. You know, obviously these players were just taking the mickey out of the club, the fans, everyone in general. And he's exiled, he's bombed them, because if you would have come here 2 years ago and said to me, Rashford would be no longer with United, I'd say, Tony, you better go to the doctors. You know, you need to see him too. But he's got him out. He's obviously, we've seen him walking around the pitch and then you Garnacho making comments on social media, liking stuff, then try to blame some of his team. I like what the manager's doing, but it's all about results. If it doesn't start well, he's under pressure. If United lose a game of chess, the manager's under pressure.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Arsenal game, it don't go right. He's pressure straight away. Regarding Ratcliffe and Omar, you know, you've not seen out of him, Jim, you know, like we used to see him in the press, you know, getting slaughtered every day at the matches, getting absolutely hammered. He's saying if it doesn't go right, he'll walk away if it comes personal. Well, do the right things by the club. The fans do you know what, this club, the fans are the best. They never turn on the manager or players like other clubs. If he does it right, they'll back him to the hilt, but he's not helped himself by sacking people who have been here for God knows how many years. So not just massive for Amarin, it's massive for Radcliffe and the rest of him. Well, don't start right, so it's going to get toxic.
For years, though, Webby, this club, its fans have demanded that it just needs ripping apart, okay? Now, there's one thing Ratcliffe and Omar Barada have done. They've ripped it apart. They've just tore at it from the bottom, okay? Deadwood's going, the club's turning round. Some people will argue one way or the other way. It's the right thing, though, Webby. Just get rid of these players. Get rid of the deadwood. Get rid of the toxicity.
It's easier said than done, so some of them are on massive contracts. And you've got to look at the old regime for giving them those contracts.
That's true.
You know,
a lot of people say that, Webby.
And that's down, you know, you can blame the likes of Woodward and other people who give these, you know, you look at Phil Jones when he got that new contract.
Luke
Shaw, you know. But it's hard, isn't it? Once they get that, they're not going to want to go to another club for less money. Some of them are quite happy to sit there in a
few more years. Then, if I think what you're trying to say, Webby, the old regime, there's still a few more years to go yet before Omar Barada and Jim Ratcliffe can say, right, job done, we're on the right line. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it could take a couple of years. So, you know, and we've got to be patient. But patience in football doesn't exist anymore. You know, people want results yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, when
the football fans, though, isn't it, Webby?
The pressure's on Saturday against West Ham in Medico.
Yeah.
The pressure is on.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at the other friendlies, and if it doesn't go right, they're going to be on his case. But hopefully, by the time the season starts, we might have a couple more through the door.
Couple more out.
Yeah, hopefully. And then hopefully we can come into the game. Because the start of every season, Tony, I wake up in that morning, whether they're home and away or we're playing on Sunday, 21's coming. I'm positive. So about 5 minutes in that first game and it hits rock bottom. But I'm positive. And that's what we should be. I'm not expecting us to come second, third or fourth.
No.
But we've got no excuse now. One game a week we've got until the second round of the League Cup, which we're in for the first time in God knows on here. So they've got no excuse now. One game a week. No tiredness, one game a week, mate.
No excuses for anyone. I just want to wrap it up with this, Webby. Fans are going in on Højlund. What's your opinion on him?
Easy said and done. So when he first come, I thought we got a player there, especially in the Champions Leagues, you know, scoring all the goals, looked good. But obviously last year, probably struggled on confidence, not getting the right serve. If you don't get the service, you're not going to score the goals. You know, do I want him to go? No, I want him to be a success here. But is it going to happen? Sometimes it doesn't happen, so it's just one of those things. I'd like to keep him here with, and maybe bring that experienced guy in where he can look at him. Because who's he got to look up in training? Nobody. So, you know, we've been spoilt here, the facts. Teddy, Ollie, Yorkie, Coley, 4 of them. You know, what we'd wish for that now. You know, do I want him to go? Listen, if we get someone who's not going to play, then maybe send him on loan. But I'd like him to be, I like an experienced centre forward to come in where they can look at him, work with him each day in training. Because I think deep down there's a player.
Right.
Deep down there, we've seen it.
Yeah.
But he needs a service. He needs someone with him with that experience, and let's see what happens. I'd like him to stay, but, you know, football's, as you said, it's a funny old game, son.
Funny old game, you're right. Listen, thanks for joining us. What I'd like is to press that like button, help the channel, and also anyone out there who's watching, please subscribe. Webby, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Right.
Cheers, Tom.
And enjoy the cricket.
I will do, pal.